Welcome back. As we promised in our intro that we are going to discuss one of the new projects launched by IBDA or START, this very promising and ambitious initiative to support our new entrepreneurs, our startups, our new businessmen, those who are stepping their very first steps in their career. And we all want that all their dreams are going to turn into stories of success and a process going on, not only dreams. To shed more light on this, we are very much delighted to have with us live here in the studio engineer Mustafa Waly, former general manager of the Federation of the Egyptian Industries, and of course our economic expert. Thank you very much for being with us, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
The initiative launched recently the national project for the digital transformation for the industrial sector. Let's go from the general to the specific. Let's have first a quick look about the meaning of this, this statement first. Digitalization or transformation to digital industry. What does it mean?
Well, this concept is now in process all over the world for quite some time. Let's say around 20 years when it started. Because, you know, with the actual industry on the ground, when you are having factories, having products, we manage, I mean, across the long history of progress, to have what we call computer numerical controlled production, which is CNC. And this actually was the latest and still also having a great...
Computer numerical control production,
yes,
CNC production.
Yeah,
okay.
And actually the machine is CNC, you call it computer, and then of course that's the production, where you can maintain the highest accuracy when it comes to dimension. It gets to the shortest time of production, a lot of improvement. And in this, as you see, even from the definition, that digitalization, or let's say information technology, is the essence of this kind of this improvement. I mean, it's not labor, it's hand labor or so, but it is actually fully mechanization, you know. Behind it also, a great innovation when it comes how to transfer the time and movement into very specific, very accurate, and to the best you want to have, you know, to the shortest when it comes to time, and to the most accurate when it comes to dimension. That's very important, because when we understand this, then we can understand the other coming phase. Well, simply, as we understand this concept, then we can easily understand the following concept, that when we have digitalization of industry, now we are talking industry at large. When we talk industry, we are talking a complete and very sophisticated human activity, where you have a plant, where you have machines, you have labor, you have material, you have a long
resources.
Exactly, and then we lead us to the basics in this case, which is supply chains, efficiency of using time, accuracy of the product, competition, and then it's the markets.
Competitiveness. But sir, before going into these details, would you please, I'm going to ask a question which seems a little bit far from the context, but in my humble opinion, it's the core of it. Many of our laborers, many of the simple laymen in the street, when we talk about digital transformation and when we are talking about new technologies, they feel worried about losing jobs, about taking into consideration that new technologies means to say goodbye to many laborers, not to give the actual importance to the human cadre. We want to differentiate between digital transformation and between taking into consideration that the core of the whole issue is our laborer, is the Egyptian laborer, staff, engineer, you name it. How to make them feel sure that they are going to be all the time the very first element or the very first musical instrument in our harmony, in our orchestra.
The answer for your exclamation or, your question, which is very important, of course, is included in the concept itself of transformation, digital transformation. Because part of this package, which is under what we call enterprise, we are talking about the enterprise now, resource planning.
Okay.
So you see how it is a package, enterprise resource planning. So every term of this is big in itself, but when we come to this issue, it is covered in this kind of automation. The concept of human resources is essential for it. Other than, plus of course other items, all these put together to have it to the best efficiency, to the most achievable efficiency. And it depends upon a lot of things. And answering your question, well, to put it frank, when you have a human resource as a resource, and you are now managing and planning your enterprise resource, planning it, it's planning, it's being a bit better, doing it to the best of what you need, then enhancing and developing your human resource, which is included there, and how, it's a long story, but it is there, it's included there.
Well, to put it short, digital transformation in our industrial sector means to decrease or to minimize the human errors, but not at all to minimize or decrease the human share. Sir, in many occasions, the President was keen to say that localizing industry and increasing the local components of our production now is one of the priorities of the state. Why, and why the stress on that in many occasions, as I said, in your opinion?
Well, we talked about this, and now it's important and very well-known issue in our economy at large. Because simply we can put it this way. When you have more localization, which means more local production of certain product or even a sub-product, it means that you are reducing your bill of import, which means that your economy is getting better because you don't need that hard currency or for import such item. Then you save it for other things. Simply put it at that, Localization plus, it's not only this. This always will put you in the rank of that, a real manufacturer or a real producer, because you are manufacturing, and it's a market at the end who will end. You are producing for the market who will accept this product, which is localized, which is fully Egyptian, made in Egypt. We can say totally made in Egypt. Then it has. And of course, you have the acceptance. Nothing will be like that, 50% or 30%. It should be according to the international standard.
Sure.
In this case, you also will be able, instead of wasting, of having your money dispersed in import, you will get money from your export. That's it.
But sir, of course, I'm not an economic expert or an industrial expert, but I feel that this may be the question which is really running into the heads of the Egyptian people. Is it right or is it acceptable to find that we are going into many tracks at the very same time? I mean, to focus on instilling or localizing the production component from the very small ships which are integrated into the production of refrigerators or televisions, for example, to the automobile industry. I mean, it's a very wide scale.
Yes, of
but
course.
Is that, are we really in a race against time? So it's a must to open all gates at a time, or invading all markets at a time?
Well, I mean, this is very, you can't grasp the details of the question because it's so vast. I mean, the answer will include a lot of things. But when we get to the specific issue which we are talking about, is that increasing your capacity for excellence in the production of certain item,
Generally.
for example. For example, in certain item. This doesn't mean that you should have this in everything, because there is difference. If even we look for the world, you know, the first, the industrialized country, the big industrialized countries, and you will find that they are depending, there is interdependence between them, you know. Some part, the big part, the final product is, let's say, coming out from China.
Yeah.
But a lot of ingredients could be in China. In other way around, it can be some other product. The product itself, the end product is manufactured in X country, but some components are coming, some sub-components
Yep.
are coming from China. So you see the interdependence. That's why the supply chains, when you look at its supply chains between each two countries and three countries, different supply chains covering the whole world. The disturbance, now it's, thanks for raising this issue, the disturbance in the supply chain can even, you know, paralyze the most advanced countries.
This is it. I mean, unfortunately, with the global changes and challenges the whole world is facing with the Russian-Ukrainian issue, conflict, struggle, military operation,
Whatever
you
you
name it,
name
and
it,
before it,
yeah.
COVID-19 with the lockdowns and with
yeah.
also climate change, if you permit me to add
sure,
it to,
sure.
to be included into a long list of
That's
obstacles.
very right.
Now, we do not have the luxury of the status quo.
No.
We do not have the luxury of not to be all the time in race with time. True?
Of course, if we can manage, you know, sometimes it depends upon how capable you are, how prepared you are to face certain situations. Right now, for example, this will take us to very essential issue, which is education and technical education. For example, this is an essential for having because the machine, even the fully automatic machine, will need a brain behind it, you know. That who will put the program. Then you see it's education important again, technical and, you know, even the theoretical, because at the end it will be materialized into a real programs which can make things move on the ground, which can have robots move. This will bring me something quickly, we'll mention it, you know. Look soon what will happen with the development of this, what we say, the information technology. We will have artificial intelligence.
This is it. This is exactly what I wanted to ask about the AI, the artificial intelligence. To what extent it's going to be playing a pivotal role in the coming fourth industrial revolution, which we started already.
Yeah. By the way, I have no answer, because you know what? Those who are behind this issue, the minds behind this issue, and it's a mind and action on the ground, you know, the big names who are taking care of this, who have been studying this, and even they initiated it, they developed it, they want to hold it on until it is secure in its operation, in its objective, because they themselves, they know the power and the extension of the effect if it is misused, this idea.
Scientists are saying that artificial intelligence can be a monster or a pet.
Yes.
If you know how to tame it, it's going to serve you.
Yes.
If not, it's going to turn into a monster which nobody can face. True? This is how do you see it, I mean?
Well, absolutely. That's what, but they have the answer in this, for this. They want to hold the progress or the work on this. They are serious in this. They are really serious. You feel how keen these people are taking care of having of the issue of the consequences of this AI. So they want to have the regulations to be put first, to be endorsed first before proceeding, which means that they are getting to a certain level where you should be worried it could be misinterpreted. You know.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Let's return to IBDA, sir, and to the importance of the small and medium enterprises,
yeah.
because all the time I feel that it's our duty to
Yes.
say thank you for the state for supporting them, and in the same time to tell the new entrepreneurs or the new startups that they do have a share, and a big one, into developing our economy. If you please elaborate on that.
Yes, I will elaborate on the most important issue, which is related to our discussion today,
Yeah.
which is the digital transformation. Well, small and medium enterprises, beside it needs, you know, of course, what we all know, you know, the place and the machinery, and it needs a database which will help them to get the best available in the market from the raw materials, the best contacts in the market to market for them or to buy their product, the best of those who can work with them for export and for increasing their capacity. I answered you when it comes to the IBDA and this digital transformation. This is one of them. The basic and the most important of it is networking locally, and of course, if they will be successful enough, they can be interacting and linked to the international market.
I wanted to focus on that because I cannot, of course, separate industry from finance.
No.
And financing new projects is a must, and the banks are doing such a role. And only yesterday there were some good news which really reflected the success of this. The Central Bank of Egypt received successfully the ISO certification in business continuity management from a leading global provider of management systems. The certificate reflects the robust business continuity management system in place that was established and implemented in conformance to ISO standards to effectively and efficiently handle any potential business disruptions, minimize downtime, shorten recovery time, and demonstrates the CBE's organizational resilience. And the word resilience here should be underlined. Sir, would you please elaborate?
This is very good news, but of course we receive it humbly because we deserve it. It's true, you know. We have been passing tough times just recently and up till this moment, and to be rewarded with such certificate, it's really something very, very important, very pleasant.
Finally, sir, let's have a brief on what we call boosting digital transformation. What's our homework in steps, in brief?
Yeah, make it available as a concept, you know, explaining it to as many as of the small and medium enterprises in the first place, because just to tell you about the market is aware about this, you know. There is a lot, because this will bring us to the most important thing. ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. A lot of systems are there, you know, and the development in it and the capacity of getting very good results, of applying it in the right way with the right understanding is good. So it's already there, but we have to increase the awareness to the whole industrial and service community, not only industrial. That's why we call it enterprise, not companies.
Yeah. Today I learned two more new, very important expressions. ERP, Enterprise Resource Plan, and CNC, Computer Numerical Control. And because of this, I'm always saying to Engineer Waly that he is an added value to our programs.
Thank you
very much,
It's always
sir.
a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
You made me humble, you know. Thank you.
You made our day, sir.
Thank
we
you.
were very much delighted to have with us live here in the studio Engineer Mustafa Waly, former General Manager of the Federation of Egyptian Industries, when we were talking about IBDA, this very ambitious initiative. Well, right after the short break, we are going to turn back with more, so stay tuned.